Mm-hmm. Good morning. Did you see the cute ponies? I need to change the video, but my replacement video did not load fast enough for me to be able to get it in there. So, let's see if I can enable that. I don't know what chat timers is. I should probably look that up. All right, so this is the first stream we've had in a couple weeks. Is it working on your end?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, because last weekend was the prelude to the workshop, and there was a lot more to get done than I had anticipated. I have a challenge with that. Like, oh yeah, I can get all this done, and it doesn't tend to work that way. Good morning, Haley. She's in Canada. She was just here at the workshop. Blah. We have Randy, good morning. Amy, good morning. Anna, good morning. Maddie, good morning. Morning. She's just over there. We had tons and tons and tons of fun. I just was so beat from trying to get everything organized that the stream just didn't happen. I ended up staying up until 5 o'clock in the morning last weekend on Saturday. So Sunday morning I was not getting out of bed at crazy o'clock to do the stream. So, and Maddie was here on the Saturday and then came later on the Sunday. So it's like, hey, I'll just sleep. So I apologize for those of you that were waiting for the stream. I did not realize that you're like, no, I cannot have my coffee and enjoy my Sunday without the Raven. Good morning, Zarina. Hippo's in the back. I will explain Hippo in a moment. Tommy, hello. Joelle, good morning. Joelle, you missed the last couple of weeks, but we didn't have one last week, so it's all good. It works out in the wash. And I did, after a few months, finally bring the cheese water. He is actually playing with cheese in the background. It is legitimately, if you convert this over, it says Q-Doll sparkling water, sea salt cheese flavor. And just for proof that I'm not lying to you guys, let's see if the camera will. Sea salt cheese flavor. It is 25 calories per 30. I don't even know. Nobody knows. But it's cute. Got a little Pokemon official. It's not being ripped off. This is legitimately licensed Pokemon stuff. So I'm curious to see what sea salt cheese water tastes like, but
Only you.
only me. I was like, Squirtle! And I was like, wait, is that cheese? I'm like, that can't be cheese. Why would you put cheese in a beverage? Japanese. That's what would happen. Tamarian, good morning. Denise, good morning. Teresa, good morning. She's like, hello! From space. I can know that from space. Laura. So, I bought it because it had a Pokemon on it, and apparently it's cheese, and so because I've purchased it, I must drink the cheese water to taste the cheese water, because it might be good. Maybe that's my new favorite drink. Currently, coffee. His favorite drink. So yeah, it was a really, really exciting week. We had 6 people come up from various places. So 3 Americans all told, with Lynn included. And Lynn was awesome. She had a lot of fun in Canada. She's never been before. Hold on. I must sip. Really loudly because it got like ice and foam and stuff.
That was elegant.
There's no elegant way to... It's too many things in the way. Lynn was awesome. She was working on a really, really cute little sculpture as the demo for her demo, because we each did a demo. This is Hippo. I've now officially named her, apparently. I wanted to do something, because I was like, okay, I'm going to do standing horse for the demo. And I was like, well... Chris is like, if you keep it simple, you can cast it yourself. And this was before the MVS thing came out. So I was like, oh, it'd be nice to cast because we have the ability to cast here. And I was like, well, I'll do a standing horse, but standing horses are kind of boring. So, and all my brain wants to do is the crazy dynamic stuff. So I'm like, okay, must focus. Standing unicorn. Okay, let's do a standing draft unicorn. Okay, I've always wanted to do a standing like unicorn on a cliff. So I was like, okay, we can do the standing draft unicorn on a cliff. That's fine. So she's on a cliff. And then I was like, you know what would be even better? You know, you're standing on a cliff it's not usually just calm. Normally there's wind. And I've always wanted to do something with crazy hair. Probably more crazy hair that goes out to here. So far, the hair's remained under control. So I've managed my expectations, but super, super crazy otherwise. She's quite cool. And Lynn had the draft templates, so I was able to kind of play with the drafty size a little bit better, because normally, I think that's new for the last year or so. Before that, she used to have the thoroughbred sport horse template, and you'd work off of that. So I had to make adjustments to do a quarter horse, and you could adjust it kind of from there. But she's got a little pony one and all sorts of good stuff. So hopefully Lynn will be doing more of those workshops in the future as well, and we might have her back up to Canada to do more here, because that was super, super fun. And it's really fun doing it in tandem. I think the participants, and Haley, you can correct me if I'm wrong, got a lot out of it, because there's two very differing perspectives. We kind of have different ways of offering our own brain knowledge and different styles, which is kind of cool to see the difference on how that works. You can see my skull here, kind of demoing some of the shapes that you find when you're building out the eye and the nose and the mouth, because that was kind of my speciality. Lynn did kind of the legs and the dry goodness. This is a skull from a body worker in Australia. So it's 3D printed. I also got the neck with it, and it's on a little pipe cleaner so you can move all the neck bones. But very hard to keep them aligned. So that's the thing. Because this, yeah, gotta go there. It's like a really bad puzzle. But cool, it moves. Versus the ones that are just stuck together. I am missing. Karen Dietrich's like, cheese water? What? Teresa, good lord, cheese water. I will tell you, Amy, what cheese water tastes like in a minute. I also have... There's a monster behind you. I also have the Medallion Club medallion to show everybody. So a whole bunch of the boxes went out. The anniversaries are lagging, and a couple of the other ones, just timing between when the workshop started, when Sundays were, when I got the medallion done and molded, and when we had time to do things, it didn't line up to get everything out kind of on time. So there's still a couple of boxes that need to go. And the anniversary medallions, I'm waiting on the little magnetic backings. They were supposed to be here last week, and they didn't show up. So I gotta kind of wait for those to show up so that you guys can actually have name tags, because you can't really stick a name tag on if you don't have some sort of backing to it. So waiting for that. Hopefully those come soon, and then I can get everything in the box and out to you. But I will show you what that medallion and the sticker, which I might have to figure out where to find the stickers. They wandered off.
Do you want me to hide?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I can hide.
Cool. So I'll show you that at the very, very end of the stream, like I like to do. I normally would do previews on the website, but we kind of blew past that. I'll probably post the final peaks there so that you guys can see it. And hopefully for the October one, I will be able to post the peaks along the way. But this month was Biter, Briarfest, Workshop, Medallion Club. Bam! All together at the same time. So, let's see. Hold on. Ooh! And it opens from a weird direction, too.
Spicy cheese water.
Spicy! I hope it's not spicy. You guys will see me make a face if it's spicy. Look at how it opens. The opposite way that we're used to. Suspicious. It's like sweet cheese.
Sweet. No.
Because it tastes like carbonated water. I don't even know how to... I like it. But I don't know how to explain the flavor of it. It's sweet like Squirtle, but salty like my soul.
Please give me a fish with it.
That's weird. Okay. It's definitely sweet. I don't taste the saltiness of it, but okay. That's not terrible. I'd do that again. Haley's saying it was great. You both had so much to offer. Yay! Aw, Lana wants her biter. Yeah, like I said, everything kind of came to a head, so everything kind of got behind. So we'll be sending out, we did get, while everybody was here for the workshop, we did get the back orders for the Ponyfest stuff. So orders from Briarfest should all be able to be completed now. Yay! That was a rigmarole, so it ended up, again, like the other one being delayed, kind of wandering the country. They had some production issues. So the boxes ended up not being able to go out on time for the back orders. I got one random box with some of the stuff in it, but it didn't have, they'd messed up on the pillow designs. Yeah, so the joys of learning the new system. So I'll probably have to start and attempt to order things in advance. But thank you guys for your patience. We should be able to get hopefully biters back on track too now. But biters are super me time intensive. And if I'm doing the workshop, I had aspirations to do things in the evenings, and I wanted people to be able to have the opportunity, thank you, be able to have the opportunity to stay late if they wanted to and pick my brain and work on sculptures or hang out, because it's a really cool opportunity to just hang out and have magic pony time with other artists, which we don't get very often. Normally we get this, you're in the computer and I'm over here, and I feel like I can yell at you because you're not there in any sort of real sense to me. So it was nice to have time together where like-minded people could just hang out and geek out with ponies, which is its own special kind of magic that the hobby's like base is built off of. So when you think about the foundation of our hobby, it's horse-loving people, creative people, people that just love everything to do with ponies and awesomeness. And by being a sculptor, you can create ponies for other people to enjoy and make tack for and put beautiful paint jobs on. And I think we lose touch with that really, really easily. So I've been, as you guys well know, because most of you have been here more than once, I try really hard to make and develop a community that's supportive and doing my best to try and do extras where I can. I think that the educational component's really big, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing with the model horses and sculpting if I didn't have other people that were willing to share what was in here, either paid or unpaid, because I've obviously taken some paid workshops, but I've also had people up for advice, and I've asked for advice, and they've wonderfully, because they're good human beings, have shared that knowledge with me, and it took them sometimes a really, really long time to get there. And there's obviously people that have their secrets and whatever, there's no judgment there, but we do need a component of the hobby where people are willing to kind of share things, or else a lot of people won't stay, or won't feel like they can adventure into the creative aspect, because there's so much coolness there. I think the model horses give you the opportunity, as I look over at my collection, to learn so much more about horses in general than I think horse people generally know. So we know generally more about breeds, more about colors, usually a lot more about conformation when it comes to form versus function. Sometimes the real horse people get into the function a little bit more. They know this particular hip will give them this particular kind of power or movement that they want in their horses, or this shoulder, or however you work it. So super, super cool, super, super magic. And I really am trying to now put my focus into getting those biters out. Jen and Tom have Scuttle, because I told you guys before we'd kind of reined in Briarfest as to what the offerings were, so we could focus on getting biters out. With my husband leaving and going back to work, it's put a lot of that on me, and I was a little bit more burned out from Briarfest than I thought, so it's taking a little longer than I hoped, but I'm trying. I'm caffeinating with... Does cheese water have caffeine in it? Caffeinating with cheese water? Not Googling it. Oh, God. I need to look that up later. But trying to make sure that I'm managing the burnout end of it with trying to get everything out. So it's just been a lot at once, and that's obviously on my planning. So I apologize, but we're working on getting biters. Biters are the next big thing to try and get all of the edition out to you guys, because you've been very, very patient, and I greatly appreciate it. This is kind of the downside to an open edition, because at this point we've basically shipped almost 100 pieces. So for most editions, that would be close to the end of it, sometimes twice what an edition would be, because if it was one mold, it would be 50 pieces, 40 pieces. So being at the point where I offered that open edition so that there would be more accessibility, it makes it a lot harder on me. But I'm trying to make sure everybody has the ability to access it versus Juggernaut, who's only 110. So we'd almost be at Juggernaut's edition level now. So trying really hard. So greatly appreciate the patience. That, like I said, will be the next focus, is getting all the biter stuff going. Medallion Club's just kind of a thing that needs to keep going, or else everything just snowballs. Anyway, on that note, because I've ranted for like 30 seconds. More than 30 seconds. I have fun things that I bought that I can show you guys in the meantime. So, Michelle Grant was in our workshop. She is a local fine art artist, and she had from a estate sale collection a 2-bits, and I otherwise probably wouldn't be able to get one. He is covered in primer because he was painted by the previous owner, and they'd taken the paint off. So I have to finish cleaning him up, but he is, in fact, China. He does not have a sticker because it would have been taken off when he was painted, but I've wanted this guy for a long, long time. I love the 2-bits quarter horse. So he's super cool, and I'll have to be very, very careful not to break him. And then from our lovely Jake Heaps of Break the Mold, I got our punk rocker pony, because it was so cute. He's the cutest thing. Maddie hasn't seen him yet.
No.
Look at his little piercings in his face. Here, see if it works. Dun, 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 dun.
Handsome.
He's pretty handsome. So I'm going to probably ask Jake if I can take some of the jewelry off, because I have some plans. But trying to support all of artists where I can, little ones, big ones. And tan bonita. So this is the mule full, and I sat there and debated, do I get the big one? Do I get the little one? And I was like, but it's so cute. I have to get the big one. So super, super cute. I don't know if the edition's still open or not, but quite a nice little mule. And I love mules, so definitely couldn't resist that. And then Fuzzy. And I know Jake, right before Briarfest came, was like, oh, okay, so I had the sculpture finished, and then I decided to be crazy and add in all the little hairs in the video. Made me laugh. It's like, why did I decide to do
There was
this?
a song to it, and it was amazing.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Jake was singing it or what, but yeah, it's like, I'm just gonna put all the little freaking hairs in this. This was done, blah, blah, blah. And then we had a pressure sale. We went to the local Irvine's tack shop, and I found a really, really nicely shaded Cascade. And look at little Caspian! Sea Star's the best thing ever. He's like, oh my god, but she's so pretty. And Haley was like, oh, get the thing. So, yeah.
I also have been painted blue Croy, and it did work.
She is very nice. And I do really like the color, and I do really like Croy, but I only really wanted to keep one Croy, so I have a Chanel. But it's a unicorn, so technically it's not the same mold. Oh well. What can you do? Let's see. I'm missing comments. Did you spy anything that I should be?
People were asking about Briarfest orders, if they were all done, which I know you answered.
Yeah, so Briarfest orders are not done. We got the last of the back orders. Now there were some hang-ups, so we ended up having more second quality items than I thought. So in the epoxy layer of some of the keychains and pins, there was some defects. So I didn't want to send those out as purchased items. So we ended up having to wait for some of the back orders to get that in. So we have everything now, so it should be good. And anybody who ordered the elusive pancake glitterior keychain, because I made a spelling mistake, and it
that
was
the B, that wasn't pancake.
Well, it wasn't pancake, but still.
Still, it was amazing.
It was amazing, because we were like, it's a glitterior. It's like what killed the dinosaurs, the glitterior from space, and just exploded glitter, and they couldn't breathe. So yeah, the elusive pancake keychain, if you got your box and there wasn't one of those in it, I will be sending it soon. I think we tried to stop all those, but anyways, it's things and stuff and complicated additions to, yeah, my brain's like, can't even speak English anymore. There's so many things. Yeah, so For those of you that are waiting for a Scuttle, I believe Scuttle's mold is up. If not next, the one after next with Jen and Tom Ulp. So I kind of said it would be 3 months. 3 months puts us in about October, which is next month. So it should line up fairly perfectly, actually. And we'll still probably be getting biters out here because there's obviously less Scuttles ordered than there were biters. About 300 biters, about 110 Scuttles so far. And then once we've caught up with those orders from Ponyfest Briarfest on Scuttle, we'll open it up as potentially, I have to talk to Jen because now with MVS closing at the end of October, that might throw things off for the open editions. We might not be able to have open editions anymore because if we don't have the casters to support it, and I don't want to be that person that takes up a whole bunch of space for other artists that want to get their sculptures produced because that's not fair either. So I will take back that comment of opening back the edition as an open edition. I will probably have something of some sort opened up for Scuttles, even if it's limited and we do another 20, 40 pieces, depending on what Jen and Tom are up to, because they are working really hard to try and make sure all of the artists are accommodated, and it's not fair of me to go in there and just monopolize their space. As much as I want all of you guys to have all the ponies, there's also potential once Biter clears up that we could maybe tack some on somewhere from here. That's something that'll have to wait and see. And then Saga, we're doing her test cast potentially today, which would be super cool. I was hoping to have a test cast for now, but Chris has been working 14 plus hour days, and that hasn't happened. But she's embedded in her mold goo. Mold is completely done, and we should be able to get that test cast, and I will show you guys on the next stream because we'll have one, which is so cool. Team long ears indeed, Joelle. High five. Boop. Let's see. Brenda, Little Happy. Yes. He's on the shelf. Sorry, he arrived just before everything got super chaotic. I got a little adorable Christina Lucas Francis Appaloosa. I don't know where he went. Maddie's like, I will try and find on the shelf somewhere.
Try and find him.
Yes.
I see him.
Oh, yay. Super, super cute. I believe it's Christina Lucas Francis. I do not know the name of the resin, but it was Appaloosa and it was adorable. Thank you. Look at him. Thank you, Brenda. I'm sorry I didn't email. He was like, well, bam, here. And then I was like, oh my God, I gotta clean everything. And the studio has a lot of stuff in it. So also on the, he came home. I wanted to adopt him into the show, but he got packed and he was hiding in the box. Yeah, so thank you very much, Brenda. Greatly appreciated.
I have a question about the second quality pins and such. If you're gonna sell them as second qualities or as babies.
Yeah, so I haven't decided yet. My brain hasn't quite gotten that far as to if I'll sell them as seconds, which is a possibility, or potentially do them, like, have giveaways and give free things for people. That is also a potential. I'm not there yet. I might wait until we get all the Ponyfest orders out, and then we'll reconvene brain cells and see where we end up. They're crying? Oh, sad about MVS. Yeah, it's really, really sad. So they've been doing it for 25 years. I started using them initially. They did Murdoch, Jordy, Scotty, Sugar and Spice, Excelsior, Chewy, basically everybody until Juggernaut. So it's been a long run with MVS, and the hobby's going to really miss them. We do definitely need more casters in the hobby, so losing a caster, especially such a big caster, is a huge shame. And Sherry had amazing knowledge on horse anatomy and was a sculptor herself, so she's able to kind of fix things if need be and make sure that those resins going out look good. So it's definitely a devastating loss for the hobby, and I really hope that she does well in whatever she chooses to go on to next, and hopefully somebody comes in and fills her shoes. I know Jen and Tom Ulp are looking to potentially hold maybe some workshops or classes in getting new mold makers and casters started in mold making. So that's an option. If you're at all interested in any of that, I would definitely hit up Jen and Tom. Jen's kind of the communication touch point. So talk to Jen. And she's like probably in the stream going, yeah, and it's a really something that's the hobby really needs. I think the casters at this point can probably, it's always a balance between raising your prices and not raising your prices, but with costs going up so exponentially on materials and shipping, it's really hard for the casters to keep their prices low. And I know artists have raised prices, and I don't believe casters really have in the last little bit. So it's got to happen at some point. It's just kind of part of how it's going to go. We might end up having to be a little more picky about the ponies that we buy, which sucks. I want to buy all the ponies. But I'll keep continuing to try and keep things as reasonable as possible. I haven't raised the Medallion Club costs since I started, and it's been $25 for the last 5 or 6 years per month. Obviously, a little more for international and Canadians. I'm going to actually have to raise prices probably for the Canadian orders and potentially internationals. It's actually the Canadian shipping that is the most expensive out of all of it, which is silly to me. I've been trying really hard for quite a few years to keep it kind of at the same level, but it's $30 for me to ship a Medallion Club box from here to the other side of Canada. And so for those of you on the East Coast in Ontario or Nova Scotia, I'm kind of got my hands tied. So that'll probably, I'll be pondering about that and probably making an official announcement in the next little bit. I should still be able to get away with the American ones because we've been able to increase how many members are in the club. That helps keep bulk discount kind of to offset what the costs are. So anyway, that's the minutia of the business end that all of us kind of struggle with. It's really hard to maintain that and keep everybody happy and not break the bank and all that good stuff. So we'll keep doing our best. Hopefully inflation goes down soon so we can all have ponies. Maybe I'll just make them slightly smaller. I don't know. Maybe, well, and the medallions might get, maybe, I don't know. I have a hard time keeping medallions small. Nemesis was the biggest to date, almost bigger than Tux, which is crazy because Tux was giant. So that's always an option. Do a little bit thinner instead of a little bit thicker. I'm just catching up on the comments. Not materials, but employee costs. So yeah, your wages have to go up. You have to try and get specialized people. Those specialized people, especially in a market where it's kind of a workers market, you can kind of go and have your pick of jobs because everybody's looking for people. There seems to be a magic loss of a whole bunch of people working. I don't know if that's long COVID or what the heck that is, but yeah, it's definitely hard. I know trying to find people to come in and help is one of the biggest things, especially when you want to make sure quality is going out the door. Otherwise, you're just sitting there vetting everything. It's quite the challenge. So Denise is looking at possibly starting to cast resin, and I believe I saw an email from Denise. So I will get back to you hopefully shortly here. Once I get caught up, I wasn't really able to kind of keep up with emails or catch up on emails while I was doing the workshop because I was do the workshop, hang out afterwards and do the pony thing, and then immediately pass out and sleep for as long as I possibly could because it was just, it destroyed me. Teaching is a lot of work. Learning is a lot of work too, so all the students slept really well, which is kind of cool. Except for poor Haley on the couch, but I'm glad they fixed that and got you a bed. Let's see. Woohoo! Restream says we got 100 messages. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's funny. You got a congratulations. I got a little trophy. So do you need to be making money? Haley's saying she wouldn't mind paying a little bit more. I'm going to try and keep it. Maybe if we weather this out, it'll work. But that's a potential in the future, is raising it by a couple of dollars just to help offset it. Laura Rocksmith plan to go smaller to try in-house casting. Exciting. Casting's fun. It's a bit of a pain in the butt, but it's a really, really good skill to know. Hourly rate would be killer. Husband's interested in casting. Teresa. Ooh, he makes molds for large things. He could probably make molds for small things too. That's exciting. All right. Would artists be willing to try a newbie caster? That's a good question, Denise. So it's always an offset. So you're offsetting your price. So if you're a new caster, normally you would charge a little bit less to try and get experience. I tried Jen and Tom Olt for Juggernaut before they were doing public casting for anybody. They'd done some of Jen's resins, so they did Dreamer, and they were doing some of her medallions, and they had one more. Can't remember who aside from my brain's blanking, but oh yeah, the jumper that I can't remember the name of. No. I'm so sorry, Jen. We had the lovely jumper, and then we had Dreamer, which was the Arab, and she hadn't quite, they bought a rotocaster for her to kind of get into the casting business, but they hadn't really offered anything publicly, and I was like, hey, do you want Bronc? Which wasn't exactly the easiest resin to cast. So I was willing to try a newbie caster and kind of put my toes in there and get them started, which was kind of fun. And I know how attentive to details Jen and Tom are as human beings, so I had lots of faith that they would do that. So I think that if you were to offset the pricing a little bit, that people would be willing to give you a try and see how you go. So, because casting's always, the newbie artist doesn't want to pay usually the top pricing for quality because that's really hard to get into and justify, and normally you're having to front the mold costs yourself or try and do pre-sales to front the mold costs, and it's already hard enough to get orders as a newbie. So it's a whole ecosystem with so many complex little details, but I bet if you were to offer that, Denise, that would be something that people would take you up on in a heartbeat, especially because we have no casters. We paid about 10 grand for our rotocaster. That was to get it up to Canada. It was really expensive to ship a frickin' rotocaster to Canada, and we got the smaller one. I should have just got the bigger one, but it does most ponies because it's pretty big. We just wouldn't be able to do like a 1/6 scale. Probably, maybe we could do a 1/6 scale, but probably nothing bigger than that.
You're like,
I'm like, 1/6 scale. And I don't know, so you'd have to look up, it's Manatron is the company that does it, and you have to organize your own freight, at least internationally. I don't know I think you need to do it within the US as well. So they're a little challenging to deal with, but their casters are really good, so I don't think they need to get any better because they haven't had the requirement from the customers. They just keep selling things. Amy's casted a bit before, pain in the butt. Definitely wouldn't mind the experience. Not in a position to cast. Jen Scott, Aspen Leaf Studios, has a great page of instructions on molding on her website. Excellent. Yeah, so I don't know. It was only about $10,000 Canadian by the time we got it here. So that would be obviously less American minus the freight because it was thousands of dollars to get it here shipped. I think there's six or 7,000 US dollars, not including freight. So anyway, yeah, total aside. If you got a pressure pot, you could do smaller castings and that's a little bit more manageable. Rotocasters take up a lot of space and they're quite expensive. And it's quite the learning curve because doing something that's hollow cast, there's a whole bunch of settings you got to figure out, which takes brain power. Pressure caster, you get a pressure pot, so you can convert a paint pot sometimes, get a good compressor, hook everything up, put the pony mold in there, well, fill it, soft set, whatever you need to soft set, which is putting a little bit of resin in places that wouldn't otherwise cast very well, letting that partially cure before you put in your actual amount of resin that fills the horse, squishing bubbles, setting it in your pressure caster, putting the lid on, locking everything down, pressurizing it up to wherever your pressure is going to go. I think we go to 40 or 45 PSI, maybe not quite 50. I don't think it's quite 50 because our pressure pots only go up to about 50. And we have 3 of those that we run. And that'll make a solid cast pony, but a smaller solid cast pony depending on your pressure pot. And then the bigger the pressure pot, the bigger the pressure, the compressor you would need. We have a giant one that's bigger than our hot water tank downstairs that I helped move downstairs, and I thought someone was going to die. But we'll probably sell the house with the compressor in it. But yeah. So that's another option, obviously. I know Eberl does her traditional solid cast with no pressure casting, which is kind of what results in pinholes and things. So there's all sorts of give and takes. We might have to get really creative in the hobby kind of going forward if we can't find people that are wanting to get into it or can't quite catch up, because I know there's a lot more artists that want to do things, or this might push things further into that 3D printed realm. Because you can 3D print on a 3D printer, and that's a lot more accessible than trying to get pressure casting and molding and learn how to do the silicone, blah, 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 blah. So, anyway. Crazy. Someone teaches a class. Oh, and then, yeah, so if you're doing silicone, you'd want to vacuum degasser for the silicone to prevent bubbles in the silicone, which prevents pilling in the resin. So when you see those little pills of resin, that's usually bubbles in the silicone, not bubbles in the resin. Anyway, I could go on the molding thing for a long, long time. So in the spirit of keeping this not 5 hours long, I should probably wrap things up unless anybody has any specific questions. We are still shipping Biter Batch E Eagle. So if you're asking whereabouts that is, that's still there. Holding pattern until now that the workshop's done, we can kind of full gear into it. And then we'll be working on getting those Ponyfest orders. We might be able to get most of them out today, if not all of them out today. Because we have shakers, we have keychains, we have pins, we have all sorts of good stuff. And more of the holographic bags because they're epic. And then anything that was left over will roll into November, because November, which is only like 2 months away. The next, I did talk about the pony and clay. So this was my demo. Maybe I'll bring her closer before I go into other stuff that people will. So this is Hippo. Because she's a big, giant, hungry hippo. She is a draft unicorn on a cliff. I do not know if I will be able to cast this, because she's not easy. But I wanted to make it because it was pretty. So you can kind of see things roughed out. Hair's just kind of stuck on her neck. And not necessarily in the right place. It's in hard clay, so it doesn't want to bend. It's supposed to go more forward and be more, yeah. I wanted to do like a Art Nouveau type hair and have the hair go all crazy. But this is already going to be crazy to try and potentially cast. If I end up doing this at some point and finishing her up to cast her instead of just leaving her as a dusty shelf piece in clay, then what will probably... Look at her little leggies. Knee peats. What will probably end up happening is she would be a fairly limited run, because I think Biter's hard. This is just me reminding myself that it could get harder. And I have some surprises that I want to put into the sculpture, so it might just be something I pick away at. Turbo's probably a lot closer. Is he? Yes. He's hiding over there.
He's on the other side.
And then maybe at some point I'll do like an écorché like this guy and cast it in resin in maybe medallion form, or who knows.
I love his derpy tail.
I love his derpy tail too. He's a schmarmacorn. His base says so. Skeletor the Smarmacorn, because he used to have a rainbow colored horn. But that's kind of one of the studies that we did to see all of the muscles in 3D and where they attach, and there are muscles under there you don't even see because they hide underneath all the things, but we know that they're there and they're secret muscles because we put them there. Many secrets. So Turbo will probably be a little bit more of an achievable resin casting experience. And he was from my last workshop with Lynn. You can use badonkadonk. I love his little tilt. Let's see if I can straighten him out. There we go.
So cute.
Scooty toot.
I love him.
A little bit different. Kind of still that standing pensive feeling. It's amazing how much emotion Hippo has just in the state that she's in, which is kind of cool. I really like her for that. So. Hippo love! Maybe you'll do a medallion. That'll be easier. All right. So...
Medallion Club questions too, because words.
I will still be doing Medallion Club Peaks, if that's what they're asking.
That one, and then just how we join the Medallion Club, because we have somebody new.
Ooh, exciting. So, normally the Medallion Club would be open from the 1st till the 16th of the month. And it would be the month that the Medallion Club, the month after the Medallion Club kind of, well, no. Odd months. That's the easiest way to say it. Odd months is when the Medallion Club's open, normally from the 1st until the 16th. I have not updated the stuff on the page because I was not having time to be able to reply to everybody and get everybody set up in the club. So I will probably put that up after I'm done the stream, actually, because that'll make the most sense. Maddie's here, she can help. If we have new people, to sign them up and do all the things. Because we have to, when you sign up for the club, we manually enter your information. So that's why if you have a change of address, just email us and we can change it in there. Changing it through PayPal doesn't necessarily change it the right way for us. But normally if we see the notification, we'll send you an email and be like, did you change a thing? So that we can fix it. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll put that up. It would be, if you go to the Chrysalis Stew, I can probably show you actually. Hold on.
You have your stream.
This is why I have to stream with the fancy thing. Chrysalis Studios. Oop. Chrysalis. It's really hard to type with my arms this far out. No. Alright. Oh no, that's wrong. Down boy. Oh, there's OBS. Okay, cool. I will show you. Boop. Dun, 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 dun. If you go to Medallion Club, just the main button, there's also the sneak peeks page, which normally I would have the peek of the previous Medallion Club to show you, which I will update at some point, but it'll just show you the reveal. Because we're so late in the game and people will be getting their boxes in the next day or two, I'd imagine. The first ones that we've sent out, and then the other ones are going out right away here. So normally open September 1st through 16th. However, because of Medallion Club, Biters, the Ponyfest stuff, and the workshop all convening at the same time as the Medallion Club is all going out the door and needing to sculpt the medallion plus the anniversary gift, which for anybody signing up now is this guy that I threw on the ground.
What's this guy?
Was that guy. It'll be up there in this spot. The actual button that you can click to sign up will be there by this afternoon. I would say as soon as I'm done the stream, that's what I'm going to do, is just add that button on there. So if you want to join, because technically we only have 5 more days for you to join if you want to join. And then it is 2 payments per medallion box. So that means you would pay if you're in the US, $25 the first month you sign up immediately. And then that same day of the month, the next month you would get charged by PayPal. And then once that payment goes through, it's because we have people that go to the end of the month. I ship normally the first couple of days of that following month, that following odd month. So you would do your payment, and then box shows up in the mail within the first weeks of usually that next month. This month was a little bit further behind than we had wanted to be, just because of the perfect storm of all the things. But it's, I hope, worth it. We have a very, very sassy member of our Medallion Club coming to join you guys. So on that note, and then if we have leftover boxes or medallions or stickers from the previous month, when you sign up, so if you were to sign up for this month, normally we would send out a thing saying that if there's any boxes left, you have the opportunity if you want to buy that as your first box, and then you would get one right away for the additional $50 charge, obviously, for what the Medallion Club box is worth. And the medallions are normally $15-ish cheaper than you would buy normally. Plus there's discounts you get for being in the club on swag and on normal resin releases. There would also be early access for whatever I'm doing, and fun, because we like fun. I do lots of giveaways, and we'll put extra things in boxes, which is kind of cool. Or I'll do draws within just the Medallion Club pool, which is super fun. And keeping it at the $25 keeps it fairly affordable for most people. And normally we have an exclusive sticker that I've designed, or someone else that I've commissioned has designed or worked with, or little goodies, which is kind of fun because we've done a horse keychain. I did a Spruce Meadows pen, kind of back on the first box, which was really cool. I have done all sorts of cool stuff. So, yeah, super fun. All right. Well, on that note, we should address the actual Medallion Club medallion and sticker. So I'll show you the sticker first, but I will let you guys, if you want to be surprised, wander off. And if you're wandering off, thank you so much for attending the stream and catching up with me. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your patience with all of the things. Being but one artist with a scatterbrain and trying to juggle all of the items all at the same time is very challenging, and I'm trying to do better. So, thank you. All right. You have one chance to flee and leave. Ooh, chewable coffee.
Oh God, no.
Haley's like, squirrel! My brain does that a lot. Chewable coffee crisps. Addicted to coffee crisps, says Anna. I'm sorry. I try and include them in almost every box if I can. So on that note, if you have not run away, too late, because our sticker of the month is, and I'm still working on how to do the sticker club. I don't know how that's going to work. A very, very metallic golden horse, otherwise known as the Akaltik. It's really hard to see with these lights. Hold on. Because it's so metallic. Super, super sassy, super, super fun. I quite enjoyed playing with this breed, especially because it does not have very much hair, which is very challenging. I wanted it to be really metallic because their coats are super, super shiny. So this you get in your Medallion Club box. And the Medallion Club stickers, I might do some giveaways with them, but they are not publicly available to purchase. They are only for you guys. And if you don't like them, they sell well on the secondary market generally. So you're not at a loss either way. And also to clarify, I do not penalize or punish people that sell things out of their Medallion Club boxes. If you want to sell swag, have at her. There's lots of people out there that want it. And if you don't want it and don't love it, then someone else will. Same goes for the medallions. I normally release them about a month after the Medallion Club boxes go out-ish. Depending on how things are going. I might just stay in stasis until November so I can catch up on things. Because doing medallion sales obviously is more work. So I want to make sure I can catch up on biters because you guys are patiently waiting. But yeah, if you get a Medallion Club medallion that you don't love, you're more than welcome to sell it on the secondary market. I do not police pricing. I cannot. This whole hobby economy is built on people buying for investments, buying to sell. There's going to be people that scalp people and charge $5 bajillion for things. So just don't buy from them. Yeah. So if you get one that you don't like, you're more than welcome to sell it. I won't be like, oh my God, you bat. Ooh. I'd be like, hi. Oh, you didn't like it. Okay. What breeds do you like? I'll try and sculpt more of those. All right. So, ready? Are you ready? No. Okay. Bye. See you later. That'd be the meanest way to end a stream ever. Be like, I'm going to show you a thing. No. So this one was a challenge because I could not rely on my crutch of hair because the medallion matches the sticker. Da-da-da-da! It's a tiki. A very, very sassy tiki. So this is Neela. Neela is a very happy, like, royal, regal tiki mare. She wants to very much be the leader and the boss mare. Let's see if I can get some good lighting on it. Da-da-da. And super, super fun expression. She's kind of got her head up and like, which is so fun. Hopefully you guys like it. I've had a lot of requests for the tiki breed. So here it is. She's not super, super thick, but she's super sassy. Look from the front. There's lots and lots of little details in there. I think you guys will really enjoy painting. Yeah, super fun. You can add her collars to her if you want. So this gives tack makers and sculptors the ability to play with this You're more than welcome to add a whole bunch of hair if you want to do something different. It gives you that customizing potential, and she should be able to show up in lots and lots of fun, metallic, bright colors. So if you're not in the Medallion Club, we will have Neela available at some point, probably in November, when we do our next Ponyfest iteration. I was hoping Ponyfest would be cleared up enough to be able to do, and Biters to be able to do kind of a resin release at that point, but I might just keep it kind of simple. Do medallions, maybe do a new medallion or two, and have some more new swag. If there's any particular Pokemon that inspires you, if you want to kind of poke me with that. I know there's been requests for kind of my own variation on Ponyta and Rapidash, so there will be some sort of fire element available. Maddie's like, yay! If you want to see, now my brain wants to take a Highland cow and make it all flamey. That would be so fun. Be like, yeah, you don't get a pony, you get a cow. Yeah, so if there's anything you want to see that way, let me know. I know that there's lots and lots of options, and everybody has their favorite Pokemon. If there's, I'm going to try and do some swag in more realistic designs as well, so that it's not all the caricature-y stuff.
She wants waffle.
Waffle! Waffle is the more polite version of pancake, because it has little sections to hold the syrup. Yeah. So, poor pancake. And so the golden pancake is yet to be discovered, because it's still hanging out. She's hiding. She ate the mold. So the last pancake, the golden pancake, decided to destroy the mold. So I've had to like go in there and scrape everything off and clean her up. So soon I will announce when the pancake has left the building, because she was apparently deciding to hide from the fun police instead of leave, because she said, oh, it's a distraction. I said I left the building. Not quite.
Sometimes she's smart.
Sometimes she's smart. She's like, look, distraction noodle. So that should be happening soon. And then there was a cash reward for finding that pancake. We will see what we end up with for Halloween, but the next Medallion Club box will be fantastical because Halloween. So, yay. Alrighty, on that note, I should let you guys go. I will have more updates next Sunday and be able to hang out and say hi. I will not miss next Sunday. Maybe more things from the last little bit will come trickling in, because I have some things that are still coming. And we'll go. Totally make a Highland cow.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Fun police. No, she was hiding from the fun police. It was a distraction. She was like, oh, I'm leaving the building. Someone will find me soon. And then they went off looking for her. And she was like, ha 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 ha, I'm still in the studio. Eating mold pieces because I'm a jerk. Okay. So on that note, love you guys. Thank you for coming and attending the stream. I hope you enjoyed seeing Hippo and all the fun things that we came up with. I hope everybody that was in the workshop had a blast. And hopefully we can do that more in the future, because I love teaching. I have like a burning passion for it, so it's great to do that. I actually wanted to be a teacher before I became an artist, so it kind of works out that I can be an artist and a teacher. It's like 2 for 1. Yay! Alrighty, thank you guys, love you guys. I will see you soon. Katie, happy wedding anniversary. I spied that before we closed out, and I will see you next time.